And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know, I tell him, you got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard working.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special. No question about it. But I got to look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather fired back after Stephen A. Smith questioned his legacy and suggested Terence Crawford could beat him. Stephen A. argued that Mayweather is not the greatest fighter of all time, saying Sugar Ray Leonard was on another level. He also claimed that Floyd's most notable wins came at lightweight, and that he didn't show the same dominance in higher weight classes. Even the victory over Canelo Alvarez was brushed off by Smith as less impressive than many believe. These comments sparked a strong reaction from Mayweather, who made it clear he won't sit quietly while his achievements are downplayed.
Not just about your skill set, it's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
that's an excuse, though. Well, I don't like this. Like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain. You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You got to be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Daoud Bey recently broke down the comparisons between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford after Crawford's big win over Canelo Alvarez. He admitted that, as a fan, he might lean slightly toward Crawford in a fantasy matchup. Still, he stressed the need for balance in the debate. Crawford's victory over Canelo was an incredible accomplishment, but Bey reminded everyone that Mayweather also beat Canelo, and he did it years earlier, when Canelo was still developing as a fighter. Bey made it clear that dismissing Floyd's legacy in favor of Crawford isn't fair. In his view, both men brought something special to the sport. Crawford deserves credit for his dominant showing against Canelo, but Mayweather's win was just as historic and should not be forgotten.
Who's about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud gave him the, all right, put your foot out. What's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. And was really standing there and giving it to him with another type of energy. The energy is more so all right, what's up? You can't beat me. Floyd energy be bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. He came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have leaned towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was if I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do it.
Trainer Boozy Ennis recently spoke strongly about Terence Crawford's place in boxing. He pushed back against critics, saying Crawford has repeatedly proven himself as one of the greatest of this generation. Ennis pointed out that Crawford never shies away from tough fights and actually performs best when the risks are highest. That willingness to face danger, he said, is what separates Crawford from many other fighters today. By consistently testing himself against top opponents, Crawford has secured his spot among the sport's elite. Ennis emphasized that instead of downplaying Crawford's success, people should recognize that very few fighters in history have shown the same mix of versatility, courage, and achievement.
You got to stop it. He'll tell you that, and be able to sit down a little bit more. And what I tell you, Terence can fight, and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. He one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He done everything, man. You know what I mean? So many titles he done won, all that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off one in the sunset, man. You know what I mean? He don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, believes his fighter still has some big nights ahead. He said Crawford could take on 2 or 3 more fights before hanging up the gloves. One option on the table is moving up to 160 pounds, a step that would be about more than just belts. For Bomac, it's about adding to a legacy that's already Hall of Fame worthy. Crawford has already made history by becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes, but the chance to conquer even higher divisions excites both his team and the fans. Bomac stressed that Crawford isn't looking for validation anymore. He's focused on cementing his spot among the all-time greats, chasing challenges that only the legends dare to take.
The second time. They can't take it away from him either.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance to go in there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know, I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
He was going to get beat. Surprising.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because, you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
You know what? They made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Timothy Bradley spoke from the heart about Terence Crawford's impact on boxing. He said many young fighters face doubt, especially when critics question their progress, but Crawford proved what persistence and determination can accomplish. Early in his career, plenty of people underestimated him, yet he silenced them time and again with his performances. Bradley highlighted how Crawford's rise to becoming a multiple-time undisputed champion showed the next generation that nothing is impossible. To Bradley, Crawford is more than just a winner. He's a symbol of belief, courage, and hard work. Today, young fighters see him not only as a champion but also as a role model who reminds them to never give up.
You're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bruh. You know, you saw it going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you'll end up 6 feet under, bruh. You know, so that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset of change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teach you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself, understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man.